6, 11, 25, 14, 4, 24, 9, 14, 18, 12, 8, 7, 21.
It's the time for otter pops, the time for slip and slides, the time for tank tops. But while all y'all are having fun under the sun, I've been crunching the numbers, all right? I've been pulling a Rain Man, diving into the dates and the digits, trying to decipher what happens next. It's like something out of National Treasure, but I have figured a lot out, and that's why I'm here today to prove to you why I believe the next Animal Crossing update is soon. Maybe even this week soon. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Smash that like button and let me know in the comments down below when you think the new update is going to drop. We've gotten all prepared and ready. I got my facts and figures. I got my sunscreen on to block out the haters. We are ready to go. So as you know, Doug Bowser dropped a little nugget of gold onto our faces shortly after E3 saying, "Hello, Harv. You're getting more stuff. Animal Crossing is going to continue, and hey, it's going to bring new and fun activities to 33 million players who have put their heart and soul into these islands." I know you have, all right? And as we peruse around Harv's Island, we might find something that makes you pretty excited, okay? Because this is looking quite nice. And I'm going to start off with the fun fact that last year's summer update, 1.3, which introduced Pascal and diving, it arrived on June 25th. That's when they said, hey, get ready. That was when the trailer dropped, June 25th. By all accounts, we have not yet arrived at June 25th, so we are right on schedule. And the more you dig in to the numbers, you realize, like, all of this might be happening according to plan. And if you need to make a plan for your Switch game, since Nintendo just announced a bunch of other stuff, you're trying to get into some other franchises besides Animal Crossing, grab a Lexar Play card. It is my favorite, fastest, best memory card on the market for Nintendo Switch, and they come in all sorts of sizes, all the way up to 1 terabyte, which basically holds every Switch game you could want. This little dollop of perfection gets the SwitchForce seal of approval, so make sure to click the link in the description down below. You can grab one for yourselves. Also, they're just really nice people, which means a lot to me. Like, I don't want to deal with no jerks. It's just not really my style. Peace, love, positivity, and some data. So let's dive back in. Updates. The biggest gap before, we think, is between update 1.4 and 1.5. That would be between the second half of the summer update 2020 and the fall update. Remember how long that took? Okay, remember how far we had to go. We were waiting for Jack forever. And if you look, update 1.4 was revealed on July 28th, and update 1.5 was revealed on September 25th. It was just under 2 full months, 8 weeks. That is known to be the big gap. Like when me and Nintendo talk or making our podcast, you're like, this feels like forever. But there actually was a longer gap. Mind the gap of 1.2 to 1.3 from April 21st to June 25th. That was just over 2 months, okay? Interesting stuff, right? So Nintendo and Animal Crossing have kept their fans fed, often every month, but never longer than 2 months and a couple of days. And guess what we are approaching? We are approaching that maximum. Stretch the fans thin before they lose their minds completely. We are approaching 2 months and a couple days because the last update, 1.10, as lackluster as it was announced on April 26th. We're now approaching that 8 weeks, that 2 months and a couple of days. And we know that the last summer update was on June 25th, so it makes sense that we are coming just ridiculously close to that cliff where, like, you look over and you're like, this is too much, I can't wait much longer, and Nintendo delivers the goods. In fact, every time that we have thought we were stretched beyond our imagination, Nintendo has delivered the goods. But there are more reasons besides just the 8-week gap and the sensibility from last year to this year. It does line up, but let's look a little bit further. Let's take a peek, my friends, at the dates of the seasonal events. You might remember that update 1.9 was announced on March 15th, and if we scroll down, we see Sanrio and that delicious 1-year anniversary birthday cake, but we also see some seasonal events. Now, these seasonal events included April Fool's Day and, more importantly, prom season. Now, prom season, as you can tell, went from April 1st to April 30th. That was the last day on this update's calendar. And then all of a sudden, we got a new update on April 26th. That's when they revealed details of 1.10, just shy of the end of prom season, so that we didn't have to wonder or worry. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting, because this update 1.10 was heavily focused on seasonal events and dated content. You've got wedding season, which is the one I want you to pay most attention to, running from June 1st to June 30th, but you also have a lot of these other seasonal events that ran as far as July. And we'll touch on July in a minute, but the big one that they highlighted for the players that just read these blog posts, that don't dig in to all of the nitty-gritty, June 30th. So if we look backwards, prom season ran till April 30th, and they said hello again on April 26th, right before their last focal event wrapped. Their focal event here in 1.10 is June 30th. What are we approaching? June 30th. This week would be the perfect time. And for this video, I promised myself that I would stick strictly to numbers and data, but there are a lot of other reasons summer just makes sense. You look at the characters out there. I mean, it's freaking tank season. As one of my favorite YouTubers likes to say, there's a lot of things that the sun and AC do together. It makes sense, but this is a numbers-focused video, my friends, okay? So you see how it's beginning to all come together. Last year's Summer Wave 1 was announced on June 25th because wedding season ended on June 30th, and they needed to load the cannons with whatever they were ready to launch next. And then they gave us a great update. We're once again approaching June 30th, and this week houses June 21st to June 25th. The 8-week gap is there, April 26th to June 26th. It is starting to really become clear, but if you are still skeptical because you say hogwash, Nintendo don't care about us, they'll do what they please, and they'll do it when they want, I want to address the other side, the devil's advocate, if you will, all right? We had Japanese events posted for 1.10, and they go all the way to August. Now, you might be saying this is doom and gloom, and initially I thought it was doom and gloom as well. But as far as I can tell, Nintendo utilizes their English language trailers to set the parameters for when the next update should flow. If we look at the events that are emphasized in the English trailers and the English blog posts, that is our best piece of info to determine when the next update will be. So even though we do have some events that linger well into August, I wouldn't be too worried because we actually have some past precedents for this as well. The big gap between update 1.4 and 1.5, when the fall update was announced on September 25th, there was a holiday that did pass over into October. Moon Viewing Day went from September 7th to October 8th. So there is some precedent for a holiday going past when the next update was announced. Now, I know it's not the same as a holiday that straight up starts in July, like Bastille Day or Cowboy Festival, and maybe that is a bit worrisome to you. There's also one other piece of evidence that might go against an imminent update, and I just want to put it all on the table for you guys and girls. Fireworks season is the next major in-game holiday, if you will. It's the next major thing that would probably need a 2021 update. And if you recall, fireworks aren't around the 4th of July in ACNH, they are in August, which means we don't technically need any sort of info until August. But alas, last year's summer update did not center around a major holiday either. It centered around a new mechanic, Diving Pascal, and then Luna, right, and her Dream Suites. So I believe that this is the perfect time of year for Nintendo to introduce something that actually isn't centered around a holiday. It's the perfect time to introduce a new gameplay mechanic, a new and fun activity for longtime players to enjoy. Now, you know me, and I like to get real specific, so let's try and narrow down exactly when this thing is going to happen. And I'd love for you guys to comment in the comments down below when you think it is going to go down. What day specifically? Well, I found out that the last two blog posts were done on Mondays, okay? They were done on Mondays, which means that Monday, June 21st, is a perfectly suitable date if we were to get a blog post. But there's a lot of thought that Nintendo resorted to blog posts because the pandemic put a huge pain in their plans, and they weren't able to release the usual trailer that they had done for updates 1.1 all the way through 1.8. So if you believe they are going to go back to a trailer, which I think is very likely, especially if this update does contain new gameplay mechanics and not just seasonal updates, then trailers, the last two, have released on Tuesdays. You might say, wait, the Mario items were announced on a Thursday, but that was actually because they were a part of a Nintendo Direct and not falling within the regular Animal Crossing cadence. So the best guesses for when this would be announced are before June 30th, at least a couple of days so that they can get us ready for what lies beyond wedding season. And from there, your next best piece of evidence is a Monday or a Tuesday, which has us looking at June 21st, June 22nd, and then June 28th and June 29th. Now the 29th is coming real close to Cyrus and Reese saying so long. That feels a bit odd. I suppose Monday the 28th would work out a-okay, but it really feels like this week is the week that gives them some gap before everything they have currently announced is over. And as long as we don't worry too much about Cowboy Festival in mid-July, it seems like this is the perfect time for Nintendo to send out their next Animal Crossing update. And we have Doug Bowser, the president of the company, saying, hey, more to come soon. To me, soon means quite soon. Soon can mean a million different things to a million different people, but I don't think soon means fall. And by all the cadence examples, by all the number crunching, by all the past precedent, by all the other updates, by all the events, by all the seasons, and by all the stuff we've talked about in this video, it seems like the next Animal Crossing update, which I assume will be 1.11, dare they do 2.0? I mean, I'll throw a party. But it could be any day now. And you know I will have you covered as soon as it happens. I'm very hopeful. I feel very good about this because data is usually your best friend. It's not just pie-in-the-sky speculation, hopes, and dreams. It is going based on what a company that operates with a schedule and parameters and structure, what they've done. It really is a good indicator of what they will do. So now what I need you to do is let me know when you think this thing is going to drop. Feels like this is the week, my friends, but let me know your take in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the link in the description down below if you want to grab a Lexar play card so you are prepped for all the other games coming to Switch this year and beyond. I'm telling you, best memory card on Switch, and you guys are the best fans I've ever seen, the best friends. Our community continues to go strong, grow strong, and be strong. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys a lot more than Cranston. Wow, more than Judy. Wow, more than even Brewster. That is saying a lot. So until next time, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there, stay hopeful. SwitchForce out.